All right, let's not waste time. Let's get at it. Where to start? I love those days when there's so many good things that I've got to think about where to start. Normally, the topic off the top of the program just jumps out at you. It's a given. I had to think about this one, but I'm going to start here. So there were some major scuds that were dodged in the association yesterday, which means there are some major exhales in order this morning. Looking at you, Minnesota T-Dogs. I shouldn't be too harsh. I think that's the only bet that I won all weekend. Them, of all people. Anyway, you can all take a deep breath because you did not choke away Game 4 and end your season and get swept by giving up 12 unanswered points in the final 3 minutes to yet again completely gag away another double-digit lead. How ugly would that have been? I mean, the T-Dogs did absolutely their last part. Did that. They did their best to do that. They did allow 12 straight points. They did puke all over themselves. Again. But they pulled it out in OT. So, congrats, T-Dogs.
Congratulations.
Nuclear warhead barely avoided. Barely.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's why you lost the T-ass. Can you imagine if they let that get away? And is there anybody anywhere who didn't think they were going to let that get away when they were in the process of letting that get away? They avoided a scud. But then they're only the T-Wolves, right? So how bad could it be? I could say the exact same thing for one of my all-time favorite dudes. One Wardell Stephen Curry.
Hey, Jim Rome.
Hey, Wardell Stephen.
Hey, Jim Rome.
Hey, Wardell Stephen.
Hey, Jim Rome.
What up,
this
Steph?
Is Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors. In case you forgot, I wanted to remind you of what the NBA is.
Man's game. I would never forget that. Listen, you know that I'm not breaking out a full government unless I see something amazingly impressive or something that I've not seen before. And the latter would apply here because I have never, ever seen Wardell Stephen Curry make a mistake like the one he made in that situation. This dude very nearly triggered the end, the downfall of the golden era of Golden State hoops with a Chris Webber moment. Could have been a total disaster. Jungle Tourette's. Of all things I never thought that I would see from Steph was him losing track of timeouts in the final minute of a playoff game that had to be won. There was a must win. I mean, that's got to be right near the top of the list. I would have never, ever, ever expected that. Nobody's perfect, but I would never, ever expect that guy to make that mistake. Now, I do understand the confusion with losing that last time out by losing a challenge. But still, I can't believe that happened. But hey, happens to us all, I guess. It happens. Happens to us all. I mean, if it could happen to Steph, it could happen to anybody. But as bad as that blunder was, and it was bad, the Kings still had to step up and capitalize. And thanks to an ice-cold De'Aaron Fox, they damn near did. And of course, in the end, it wound up coming down to a former member of the Warriors. And how badly do you think Harrison Barnes wanted that? Probably more than anybody anywhere wants anything. And he had a good look too, didn't he? A former member of the Warriors with a game-winning look. A potential dynasty dagger. And I'm not going to lie, when he let it go, I thought there was a really good chance that was going to end really well for him and really horribly for the Dubs. I mean, Harrison Barnes, of all dudes, had that dynasty dagger in his hand. And my dude had a pretty good look now. In fact, I'd say he had a really good look. And you know he wanted that dagger as badly as anybody ever wanted anything. Knock down that shot. Carve their heart right out of their chest. Show it to them. And then go all Cal in Vegas, RIP, and make them eat it. Hell yes, he wanted that shot. Even if it's not the shot that they needed. No way you're going to tell that guy. No way you're going to tell that guy. And honestly, I've got no problem with it. It was right there. He just couldn't knock it down. But what a storyline that would have been. And you know he wanted that. Credit the Warriors defense, though, and credit them for forcing somebody, making somebody other than De'Aaron Fox beat them. Because the way De'Aaron Fox was dealing, he absolutely would have stuck that dagger. He would have if he got the chance. You had to force the ball out of his hands. You could easily make the argument that Fox was, in fact, the best player on the floor yesterday. Do you know why you can make that argument? Because he was the best player on the floor yesterday. This dude is finding another level in the postseason, and as always, he finds another level in the clutch, which is why the Dubs' only choice was to make somebody else, anybody else, beat them. Even if it was Harrison Barnes who wanted to beat them worse than anybody on the floor. They had to make somebody else beat them. Harrison Barnes was waiting to hit them with every 4-letter bomb, 13-letter bomb, whatever bomb he had he made that shot. And to Draymond's point, he's so right. You had to make somebody else take that shot. So if Barnes does make that shot and he makes it and they win, then the Dubs can lead, or they can live with that, because you can't have Fox beat you. And all the 4-letter words. If he makes that shot, then Golden State, it says, hey, tip your hat. He can have his 13-letter words and his 4-letter words. He had to make the shot. I mean, that dude was that close to some of the most satisfying revenge ever. Man, Harrison Barnes wanted that. I see him working. I see why he took that shot. Hey, by the way, Draymond, give the guy some credit. And I know he won't get it anywhere else but from me. But that dude did watch Game 3 from home. For real. After the stomp heard around the world. He realized, you know what? They look good without me. They played well without me. The spacing was good without me. The defense was good without me. Pretty much everything was good without me. And say what you want about Draymond, but you can't question his IQ or acumen on the floor. His judgment, his emotion, I mean, sure. But this is not a dumb guy when it comes to basketball acumen. So he took all that in, and then he went to Steph first, apparently. And then Steve Kerr said, you know what? I've got no problem coming off the bench. In fact, I probably should come off the bench. Y'all played really well without me. So why would you mess with that? I'm willing to come off the bench. So for the first time in a playoff game since 2014, Draymond comes off the bench. Say what you will about Draymond, and I get that almost every last one of you has something really negative to say about Draymond, but the guy does win, and he wins for a reason. So I think that he handled that very well, even though it got spicy very quickly when he hit the floor. And all I could think is, man, if they bait this guy, if they hook this guy again, look the hell out. But they didn't. They get over. They survive. They advance. And now we've got ourselves a best of 3. Now the series goes back to Cowtown. Sacktown. Tied up at 2 games apiece. I love it. It's one of the rare things that's living up to all the hype. I absolutely love it. Now it's a best of 3. And if you think that Mike Brown, hey, by the way, Mike Brown, the only unanimous head coach of the year recipient, which is incredible. If you think that Mike Brown is going to let Sacramento relax for even a second, think again, because he called them out right the hell out right after that game yesterday, and he was not messing around. How about this dude? Now, I know for a fact he's going to have that conversation with his team, but how about him having that conversation with the world? I respect that. They're the defending champs. We're the Sacramento Kings. We haven't been here in a decade and a half. We're good. We're young. We're athletic. However, to be the man, you have to beat the man, and don't be looking for the refs to bail you out. And I've told my guys that. I love hearing that from him. You have to knock them the hell out. That's the first ever unanimous NBA Coach of the Year right there, and he's exactly right about not begging for fouls. Knock them the hell out. He's right. The refs are not going to hand it to the Kings, and neither are the Dubs. If Sacktown wants to light more beams, they need to stick that dagger all the way in. Yesterday, Harrison Barnes had that dagger in his hands, and he dropped it. So the series is living up to all the hype. Now it's a best of 3, and it's hard to imagine that it's not going to go 7. I'm looking for all of NoCal to get up in here. Who you got? How do you think it's going to go? Kings v. Dubs has been everything we expected. Even as a SoCal native, and I know you all hate us, but I'm pro Dubs and I'm pro Kings. I'm having a hell of a good time watching this. I'm having a hell of a good time watching both sides giving each other the hands. So I've got your platform, so get the hell up in here. Use it. Who you got? How you feeling? Oh, and do me one more thing. Indulge me for one more moment. As you can tell, I'm fascinated by Harrison Barnes having an opportunity to drop that dagger. Man, I can only imagine what was going through his mind because, frankly, and I'm not picking a side or blaming anybody, but you know it's personal. You know it's personal between him and them. I'd love to know what was going through his mind as he let that ball fly. That's why he let that ball fly. Hell yes, he took that shot. I don't care how much time was left on the shot clock. You want that guy to be that guy. You want that guy to want to be that guy. I loved it. Love that game. So I had to decide where to start, and I'm going to stay true to my West Coast roots. West Coast show, West Coast topic, right off the top. Dubs fans, Kings fans. Man, Sacramento was that close to going up 3-1. And Steph, that close to an all-time blunder, but they get over. 1-800-636-8686. Definitely talking about the Knicks. MSG. Absolutely electric. The only place more electric than inside of MSG was outside on 7th Avenue. Knicks fans just losing their collective minds. And you know what? I'm fine with it. If you're looking for me to come up in here and say, hey, yo, maybe you finish first. Maybe you actually get out of the first round first. You got the wrong guy. I love it. I love that they're already celebrating. I love that they're acting like that. I love that they're saying what they're saying. I love that they're rehashing old rivalries. I love all the energy about New York. By the way, C-Town, Cavalier team, I expected more from you. I mean, taking nothing away from the Knicks, but I expected a better showing from the Cavaliers than this. This is not what I expected. Thank you so much for watching.